What would you do if one law, just one, could send you to your death? Now imagine this. You're surrounded by roaring lions, starving beasts, and no way out. Yet you kneel and pray, not to a king, not to save your life, but to a God you refuse to betray. This is the story of Daniel, a man who chose faith over fear, truth over compromise, and walked into a lion's den with nothing but his belief to protect him. In the heart of the Persian Empire, under King Darius's rule, the world was a complex web of power, politics, and pagan worship. After conquering Babylon, the Persians inherited not only wealth, but also wise men, administrators, and prisoners, like Daniel, a Hebrew exile from Jerusalem who had already served under Babylon's king Nebuchadnezzar. Now an old man, Daniel was no longer the teenage interpreter of dreams. He was a seasoned leader, trusted, loyal, and incorruptible. In Daniel 6, we're told that Darius appointed 120 satraps to govern his empire, and over them 3 administrators. Of the 3, Daniel was the most distinguished. His character was spotless, his loyalty unquestioned, his wisdom divine. But greatness always attracts jealousy. The other administrators and governors couldn't stand Daniel's favor with the king. So they plotted, not to expose a weakness in his governance, but to trap him in his faith. They knew one thing: Daniel wouldn't stop praying to his God. So they came up with a brilliant and deadly plan. They approached King Darius and proposed a decree. For 30 days, no one could pray to any god or man, except the king himself. If anyone disobeyed, they'd be thrown into a den of lions. It was political flattery mixed with deadly intent. And the king, unaware of their true motives, signed it into law. And what did Daniel do? He didn't protest, he didn't run, he didn't even hide. Daniel went home, opened his windows toward Jerusalem just as he had always done, and prayed. 3 times a day, boldly, fearlessly, in full view of the world. This wasn't recklessness, this was faith that refused to compromise. And sure enough, his enemies were watching. They caught him in the act. They rushed to the king, and suddenly, the trap was set. King Darius was devastated. This wasn't just any subject. This was Daniel, the man he trusted above all others. But Persian law was unchangeable. Once signed, not even the king could revoke it. Darius tried everything. He delayed, he searched for loopholes, he agonized until sunset, but there was no escape. So, reluctantly, the king ordered Daniel to be brought forth. And before he was thrown into the lion's den, Darius said something powerful. "May your God, whom you serve continually, rescue you." Then the stone was rolled across the den's mouth. The king sealed it with his signet ring, and Daniel was left alone with the lions, or so it seemed. That night, the king couldn't sleep. No food, no music, no peace. He waited for dawn with a restless heart. And at the break of day, Darius rushed to the den. He called out, not with despair, but with desperate hope. "Daniel, servant of the living God, has your God been able to rescue you from the lions?" And then, a voice answered from the darkness. "O king, live forever. My God sent his angel, and he shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me." Daniel walked out untouched, not a scratch on him, because he was innocent before God and faithful despite fear. The aftermath. Darius was overjoyed. He not only freed Daniel, he punished those who had plotted against him. They were thrown into the same den and devoured instantly. Then the king issued a decree to every nation and language in the empire, proclaiming, "For he is the living God, and he endures forever. His kingdom will not be destroyed. He rescues and he saves." Daniel's story isn't just ancient history, it's a blueprint for modern faith. Because in today's world, we may not face lions in cages, but we face pressure, compromise, ridicule, and consequences for standing with truth. Daniel shows us the power of daily faith, not just when danger strikes, but every day in every habit. He shows us that integrity is visible and enemies will use our strengths against us, but God will defend us when we stand firm.